Pricewell Marbanyas. So a few points only, just to save time for everybody to speak, is, so we are looking at a smart city. And there is a document here which is quite exhaustive, suggesting that Shillong, the infrastructure and the expenditure involved, is going to turn this city into a smart city. But for that, sir, we need smart people around. And one of the first respondents to anybody coming into the city is the police department. That's why in the budget speech, I had mentioned the creation of vehicle pounds, where any vehicle which is impounded because of accident or theft or any other crime is kept in a particular designated location. Today, most of the police stations, right from Morakaneng up to Barnihat, because that's the route I travel quite often, these police stations have turned into vehicle graveyards. Matter of fact, we have more vehicles inside the police station which are damaged than the space that is required for people to go and interact with the police officers. So the first point is the police should look into this and remove all the vehicles which are on the road. If you see in Barnihat, sir, right from the police station up to the check gate of the old sales tax, those vehicles in one line somehow are even form part of the landscape. You can hardly, you can just partially see the size of the vehicle because of the grass and the foliage that has covered it. Now that is a very bad impression one gets when you enter Shillong or enter the state of Meghalaya. So that should be created immediately. And secondly, sir, you want to beautify the city, you have to beautify the police station. Because today anyone entering the police stations feel that they are going into a place that looks close to like a dungeon. Because there is no upkeep, there is no upgradation. Therefore, in these circumstances, the morale not only of the police people who are attending, manning the stations, even the persons who are going in there to seek some help, their first impression is very depressing. So these are the few things which I think the police department has to look into, sir. Then coming also to, sir, the attitude. We understand, sir, that under very difficult circumstances, the police personnel are doing their duty to the best of their ability. But when it comes to discharging your duties, there is certain responsibility that comes with it. Why I am saying, sir, this? Today we are trying to promote the state as a tourism destination. And the tourism department is doing quite well in that manner to promote tourism. But every day you will see, sir, that when a vehicle from Assam or outside the state drives into a city, invariably they make some mistake somewhere because of the one-way traffic system, which at times changes because of the needs that is required and as decided by the police department or the traffic police. They stop the vehicle. Now what is the duty of the policeman at that point of time? Is to instruct and educate the driver that you have driven into a known entry. So you need to back out and go the right way. But no. Irrespective of the persons who are sitting inside, some of them are women, children who have traveled long distances. Then they start arguing with the driver and wasting time and forgetting why they are there. To ensure the smooth flow, that chapter they forgot it and they go and argue with the driver, and perhaps when some money exchanged hands, then they have to go. Now that is very sad. That shouldn't happen, sir. Because that gives a very bad name to the police force of our state, who are doing their job under very difficult circumstances, as mentioned by our LO. This is one of the points which should be raised. And therefore, keeping these strategic locations should be manned by police personnel who are trained and with some degree of etiquette and integrity. That should be there, sir. Otherwise, no matter what you do, we will be always given a remark that the Shillong police are very corrupt. Why? Because they do all this. I have noticed, sir, in Mobley, when these vehicles are going back to their respective states via Silchar and to Tripura, all these vehicles are stopped. For what? For what reason? They have not broken any law, but because their number plate is not ML. So I have driven from Shillong to Darjeeling, which I do every year for some family reason. I have never been stopped in any part of the road from Barnihat up to Srirampur up to Siliguri. Why? Because I am driving the road. Here they get stopped everywhere. I don't know if in the last, prior to the LA elections, the road from Puriang, Morkaneng, up to Lat Umsao, which is the Riboy district, there used to be these illegal check gates, or legal, I don't know. And the check gates were manned by people purportedly from the district council. But if you look a little behind, there will be a police jeep there. What is the police doing there? Stopping trucks for what? If there is no illegal trade of mining or coal being transported, why do you need to have a check gate? There are no check gates in other highways. What are the police doing there? So this question was raised here in this house many a time. In fact, I even called the superintendent of police of the various of the relevant districts to inform them about that. I don't know if the district council has now removed these gates or they still exist. For what reason? And backed by the police. This is very sad, sir, that our police personnel are resorting to such type of activities. So thirdly, sir, there are times when there are fires, now these forest fires or house fires. It happened in the year 2023, sir. There was a fire in Rinja. The entire sawmill and a house got gutted. It almost completely gutted the primary health center because we couldn't get to the fire station at that time of the night. Someone had to drive from Rinja to Yoringhap Fire Brigade and then bring the... I think it will be prudent, sir, if the department considers placing some fire tenders as a first response team in strategic locations. I know it's not possible all over the place, but at least in strategic locations, before the entire team comes, at least a fire tender in some places. This is also, sir, I would like to raise here in this house, And I hope the police department and the Honorable Minister will take note of this, sir. So one incident I must share with you, and this time was recently, about 2 weeks ago, sir, in the locality where I reside, Boxe. Now, Boxe has made some new rules, which has been very effective for the movement of traffic. So you go round and round in circles, but you don't encounter any traffic jam or block. It happened about in the evening, past 7 o'clock. Somehow one truck entered the locality and went the wrong way, and he was stopped at the junction, which was directly below my window, my bedroom window. And there was a lot of commotion. I said, what happened here? I saw this truck, huge 10-tonner, the driver, and there were two police personnel on a motorbike. And they were arguing. Sir, I had to intervene, not to reprimand the driver, but the police personnel. I said, your duty is to tell him that you've gone the wrong way and this is the right way, which is just another 10 meters ahead. Turn left and drive down, please. But I heard them speaking in Khasi. You know, which means, in English, asking for money. Now, so if our police personnel behave in this manner, how do you expect us to trust them? Today, people don't wear helmets because they're scared of their head going to break on the road, or fall down and hit their head. They're scared because the police will find them. But this again comes us to bring another point. A young girl was driving a scooty, stopped at Maura. She calls me, says, Mama, I need to pay a 500 rupees. I said, why? She said, I got no license. I said, then you pay. She said, I had no money to pay. So I G-paid her the amount. I said, pay the police there. Apparently, the person who took the money was also paid by G-pay, but it was a personal account. Now, where did the money go? We don't know. After that, that young girl, underage, no license, sat on a scooty and drove off. So where is the justification? That scooter should have been impounded and taken to the thana and then ask someone who's responsible to collect it. So in one way, you fine the person 500 for having no license, and then after paying the fine, you let us sit on the scooty and go. That's another crime. So these things, sir, I'm highlighting, not because of my distrust in the entire department, but to highlight a few points that we should educate our police officers, especially manning the streets. I know, like the honorable member from Meghalaya said, they are working day in and day out. But that doesn't justify the actions which you do, which are illegal, by persons who are supposed to uphold the law. That's why, sir, I once again, before I conclude, but still place my appreciation for the work the police department is doing in trying to control the situation as it is, but to be more sensitive to the people who come into our state and those who are also living here, sir. Thank you, sir.